G'day guys, my name's Colin Evans from the Asset Finance Shop and I beat every broker in Australia. To tell you the truth, there's 2,400 brokers that are registered with Morris Finance and I came out on top and won this boat.
Yeah, it's true. Well done, Colin. Well done, Asset Finance Shop. Well done.
Alright, so Daniel, for those people who aren't familiar with Morris Finance, why don't you give them the elevator pitch on the business?
Yeah, so we're a fund that thinks a little bit outside the box. We do things like defaults, ex-bankruptcies, try to make commercial sense of the business. So we do a lot of deals that other lenders won't go near. We really try to understand the commercial sense of the deal and try and piece the things together.
Well, that's perfect for us because at the Asset Finance Shop, we basically deal with small Australian businesses, and we're always out to, listen to the full story, try to get the complete picture, and we're looking for a solution for people. A lot of the major lenders, they get the bank says no, and we're really looking to, bring a solution for someone when they're not getting the service and and they're just not getting the treatment that they deserve.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of lenders do look at that. It's very much matrix based. We don't have a matrix. We love to deal in those scenarios that don't quite fit policy for other lenders. And that's our bread and butter, and that's where we live. Yeah, so my name's Daniel Fraser. I'm the State Manager for New South Wales for Morris Finance. We're based in Geelong, Victoria. Established since 1998, growing business. Yeah, 2,400 introducers across Australia. We've got a presence in every state, every major city.
And what is it that you focus on roughly?
So, look, tends to be, our bread and butter is trucks, trailers, a little bit outside the norm, I guess. If it doesn't fit the second tier funders, that's where we do get a lot of our traction. It might be a default, it might be a dishonor, it might be something that doesn't fit the matrix of those second tiers. But any commercial asset is where we focus. Most
lenders are actually, ultimately backed by the bank. So there might be a second tier lender and they may have some slight flexibility off a tier one introducer or the big four. But why is Morris different?
Yeah, so we are different in the way that we do have private funding. We've got investor funding that comes into our business and allows us to be agile and flexible. That's a big difference for us. It's something we pride ourselves on, to be able to go outside of that matrix style, and that's a big reason why we're able to do so many widespread deals.
And you guys don't have like a credit score minimum? You're open to anything?
We're open to it. Credit scores are low for a various amount of reasons. You'd understand that. If it makes sense, again, if they're just growing the business, they've had inquiries, they might have had a bad broker that's taken them elsewhere. We understand that and we can do the deal. We do older assets, we do consider them. That's one of our differentiators as well. The values does have to add up, obviously. But we can go outside, we can do weird and wonderful assets. Any commercial asset is something that Morris do consider. So as long as it makes commercial sense, again, and the value's there, then we can do it.
All right, so Daniel, a lot of our clients have been told no by the banks, and you guys have a completely different outlook on that. What is it that makes Morris different?
Yeah, so we don't have that matrix that a lot of other lenders seem to have. They tend to pigeonhole deals. For us, it's really about understanding the customer, understanding the client. If they do have defaults, ex-bankruptcies, we understand why. There's plenty of reasons that these things happen, and if it makes commercial sense for us to do the deal, we're happy to do it.
Well, everybody needs a second chance. And,
yeah, for sure.
Life unfortunately happens to a lot of people.
Yep.
And in business, it can be unpredictable and things can happen to you all the time, Day to day, things can change. Things outside of your control can affect your business as well. So
absolutely.
It's important that we don't say no to these businesses and we do our very best to support them in every way we can.
For sure, absolutely. And I think that's the big thing that we do try and look at. There are plenty of good businesses that have issues. They might have gone through a tough time. If it makes sense to us, they've overcome that, we can do the deal and we're happy to consider it.
All right, so Daniel, how long have we been working together for?
About 10 years in total, so
nice.
Yeah, we've got a really good relationship with the team at Asset Finance Shop.
Awesome. And how do you find our submissions compared to the standard broker?
They've really improved. They're great, to be honest. Really detailed. That's the big thing with Morris. We want as much detail as possible. We've got to understand the client, understand the business, and I think that's something you and the team take a lot of pride in.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that because there's a lot of people behind the scenes that support me to make sure that we give you guys the best quality submissions. All right, so Daniel, why do you back the Asset Finance Shop?
Look, you guys really understand your customers well. You're able to package up the deal properly for us to understand, get a full understanding of the customer. You've got a really good internal credit team. They, pleasure to deal with, makes our life a whole lot easier.
All right, guys, so you heard it here first. If you need your deal packaged up properly and submitted correctly the first time, reach out to us, DM below, and we'll get started today.